Hey everybody, Dr. Andy here. Today we are joined by Ramon Vega. He is the owner of PowerHouse Fitness. Ramon, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. All right, so Ramon, I've always enjoyed all of our talks and all the time that we spent together. Tell me a little bit about yourself, or not, obviously not for me, but for any of the people watching or listening, a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your little new endeavor you got going on.
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Ramon. I have been in the fitness industry for over 7 years now. I started at a corporate gym, worked my way into opening my own personal training business at a local gym. And then now I'm here with my very own gym. So PowerHouse Fitness will be coming to the Burlington area in 2021, hopefully in January.
All right. So let's dive right in. What is give us some of the breakdowns of what it's like corporate fitness, big box gyms versus the stuff that you've been doing recently.
Okay, so with the corporate gym, there's a lot of restrictions that I didn't agree with, and that's kind of one reason why I decided to venture out and do my own thing. I just, you hear a lot of in corporate gyms, they really just push the memberships, the sales. They don't really focus on the wellness of the member themselves. So
sure.
That's kind
of it's more about profits than the actual people.
Exactly. And I didn't agree with that. So one thing that I really want to focus on here is focusing on the member. So making sure that they are seeing the results they want to see, making sure that they're enjoying coming into the gym and getting a good workout in.
Perfect. I love it. What is your why? What's your driving passion? Like for me, my passion is to help people live like a pain-free and active lifestyle. It's not just to be pain-free, but also add in that active to make sure that you are using and abusing that body a little bit, because you're going to hurt yourself either way. You're going to hurt yourself in the gym, or you're going to hurt yourself long-term sitting on the couch or sitting in front of your desk, having a sedentary lifestyle. I would rather you overall health, beat yourself up a little bit, being active, because that's so much easier to take care of it. And that's kind of where my passion comes from. So what is your passion? What's your driving focus?
So quick story about me. When I first started exercising, I was a senior in high school. And I was really skinny, didn't have much muscle on me. And so I started with the whole P90X and
Okay.
And I just noticed how it made me feel better working out every day, or at least for the most part, 3 to 5 times a week. And then I started developing a lot of confidence in myself. And so I took that and I wanted everybody else to feel that, right?
Okay.
So
yeah,
that's kind of what took me down the rabbit hole of becoming a personal trainer. I wanted to help other people feel the same benefits that I did when I first started my fitness journey. The only difference is that when I first started, I didn't have much guidance. Like I said, I did the P90X and then went into my...
I feel like a lot of people did.
Right.
That's a lot of people's introduction.
Right, yeah.
Body, right?
So no one's telling you if you're doing it correctly.
Right.
You're just exercising, right? So going into a corporate gym and working out there before I got hired, it was kind of the same concept. I didn't really know much. I knew the basics, but outside of that, it was kind of just go in, do your own workout, walk out. So when I became a personal trainer, I realized there's so much more to fitness than just going in and getting a workout.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I always say there's a difference between working out and training. We want to train. We don't just want to work out.
Interesting. Is that kind of like a little bit on this topic of how we've kind of talked about before a little bit in terms of anyone can make you sweat, but it's actually a lot harder to train you in terms of make you actually do something real.
Exactly.
Or towards your ultimate goal, not just make you sweat, get your heart going.
Right. Anybody can find a free workout online on YouTube and work out, sweat, feel like they're going to puke.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that might not be what you need for you to lose the weight, build some muscle, whatever your goal may be. So
I would argue that if you're puking, that's definitely not towards your ultimate goal.
Yeah, you Yeah, you definitely don't want to be puking after a workout. That doesn't mean you had a good workout. It just means
Right.
you
Ooh, yeah.
right. So that's
You
one thing. Yep, go ahead.
no, go for it.
I was just gonna say that's one thing that I want to bring to the Burlington area is a gym where we focus on proper training.
Yeah.
That could be proper weightlifting, proper metabolic conditioning, and not just find a workout in, pay me to come to my gym, and then make you sweat and puke for an hour.
Now, does that come from your foundation of Ramon? You're an NASM personal trainer, right? So is that where the foundation kind of comes from? I feel like that's one of like the more elite style or certifications for a personal trainer. So is that kind of where it comes from? But also, like, what is an NASM personal trainer, and like how does that make you different than others?
So NASM, short for National Academy of Sports Medicine. I am a certified trainer. And I have been for over 7 years now. I feel like what sets me aside is that being a certified trainer, it takes months just to get the certification, but then it takes years to develop the experience and the knowledge that you really want to have in order to help other people out.
Sure.
So kind of what sets me aside from somebody else is not only my experience, but my knowledge, right? This wasn't a weekend course that you can go take and all of a sudden you're eligible to open up your own fitness studio and offer group fitness classes. So
right.
That's one downfall about the fitness industry. It's becoming very easily for people to go in, become trainers, and then get people to walk in their doors, help them work out without the knowledge of knowing, like, okay, they're not moving correctly. Let's slow down the movement, help them develop the right movement patterns before they get hurt.
But I feel like it's broken down even more so, right? So it's not even as bad as take a weekend class and open up a gym. Now I'm an Instagram influencer. I have absolutely no experience. Like, sure, I look insanely in shape. I might have like a 6-pack, but have no knowledge or experience in actually training anyone. And I think COVID has sort of like made that a little more widely accepted / dangerous.
Yeah, I agree. And it's hard for people who have taken the time to go to school, become certified, when someone else who, like you said, on Instagram can say they're a fitness influencer, offer these boot camps and online workouts for a really low price.
Is that what they're called, a fitness influencer?
Right, yeah,
I influence you to have more fitness. All right.
So there is a lot of there's a lot of noise inside the fitness industry. So you just have to be careful and make sure that whoever you're hiring or whoever you're asking for help has the proper certifications to help you, because what may have worked for you and what may have helped you lose X amount of weight or build the body that you have is not going to work for the next person. And like I said, that's what separates a certified trainer from your Instagram weekend course trainers.
You're actually putting your like finger on something that kind of like bugs me bad too. When someone's like something healthcare related, right? And they'll be like, it worked for me. It must be great and work for everyone. It's like, please time out. Like, especially dietary or anything like that. It's just like, oh, that's so dangerous to get into because everyone is so unique nowadays. I have a medical doctor friend who's telling me that she barely kind of ventures into that realm anymore in terms of what she can be careful saying or just being careful with what she's saying, because she has a patient where she can barely tell them to have carrots because carrots, spike their blood glucose. It's like, oh my God, like that's insane, right? Like who could you not, like when would you have thought previously, like you shouldn't say, go have carrots? So we're touching on the subject already, but give us a little bit of a history and maybe the reasons that led you to want to open up PowerHouse Fitness.
So throughout my years of running my own business, I just felt that
the personal training business.
Yeah, my personal training business. I felt that there was still more for me to give to the community.
Yeah.
And so talking with my wife, Christina, we decided to, let's venture out. Let's open our own gym, provide the Alamance Burlington area with a proper training plan where people can come in, work out in a safe space, and then have the guidance of a nationally certified trainer to make sure that, you know, they're moving correctly, and that they're seeing the results they want to see.
Perfect. We've talked about it. Who do you love to work with? Who do you, if you could dream of, this is every single member of my gym, who would it be, just because it gives you a passion?
So,
Or fuels your passion, not gives you a passion.
I specialize in athletic performance, sports performance, speed agility development. So I love working with the athletes, right?
Yeah.
I was an athlete myself.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So I can relate to those people.
Right.
So primarily I work a lot with soccer players. So, you know, helping them develop the speed, the power, the agility that they need to be better on and off of the field. I've also worked with football players, basketball players, tennis players, you name it. I've probably worked with them. So that's my passion. I love training athletes, but with that being said, I primarily help the general population. And that's one thing that we want to emphasize here at PowerHouse Fitness is just because I'm a sports performance coach doesn't mean that I can't help someone who's never walked into a gym. So we do have those credentials as well.
Yeah, I mean, well, but what you're doing is you're surrounding yourself with people who maybe have a different specialty and a different passion so that you're more well-rounded, right? Like Tina, your wife, like you're saying, her passion is helping women in weight loss, right? And you're bringing on other trainers that are doing the same thing in terms of making you guys a well-rounded team so that you don't have any weaknesses, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you to become a little bit more, or to go in kind of in a little bit more of a fun vein. What did you do to stay active during COVID?
So COVID was rough, you know, gyms were shut down.
Right.
But what I decided to do is, with the help of some friends, we made an outdoor platform. And luckily it was during summertime. So we made a platform. I bought a barbell, got some bumper plates, and, you know, I did my lifting. I did
Okay.
squats, my deadlifts, my Olympic lifting. So definitely kept up with that. On top of that, since gyms were closed, for my conditioning, I would just go out to the park, do some sprints, do some speed ladder, some SAQ drills, just to get my heart rate up and continue to brush up on those skills.
I put rings up in my garage, and I've got like sort of like a home gym, I guess, and I have kettlebells, and I always thought like, all right, good, I got my kettlebells, I'm gonna do a good job and stay active. My problem is I don't really like them that much. Now I use kettlebells a lot in my office. I mean, part of it is like a space saving kind of thing, but I would say barbells are where it's at. I have a lot more fun with barbells, but rings are awesome. I love rings and barbells. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I can agree. I love me a good barbell.
Let's see. I know that you love kind of working with the active type people, but because you've had so much experience with general population as well, same thing with me, right? Like I love athletes. That's why I kind of said, I don't know what you're talking about, because that's exactly me. Like that's who I have a passion for. I have a passion for helping the athletes and the active individuals. But at the same time, I mean, I'm seeing tons of general population people, right? So it's not just the athletes that I see. So you have to be ready to help those general pop people. So to that end, how do you help people that are just starting out, that are maybe just starting their fitness journey? How do you make it fun and exciting for them? How do you help them with their success? And what type of recommendations do you have for people that are just starting out? Because we are approaching January 1st now, right? Everyone's going to be making those New Year's resolutions. How are people going to be able to become more successful with those?
So one thing that we will offer here at PowerHouse Fitness is personal training. So if someone doesn't feel comfortable walking into a group setting, you do have the option to do a private one-on-one training with one of our coaches. And then we also have on-ramps, so kind of like an introductory course. So if you're not familiar with some movements, but you definitely want to venture into that group setting, you know, we kind of help guide you through the first couple classes to make sure.
And that's where your NASM, I feel like, is going to shine, because you're so strong in the fundamentals that it will help people be able to kind of, if they want to be able to take more of a group or do it more on their own instead of sticking with your personal trainer long term, you're going to have a better, stronger foundation through that.
Absolutely. And
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. one of the biggest problems that we encounter in the fitness industry is that, January 1st is usually when everyone's hyped. 2020 was a crappy year for a lot of people. So everyone's hoping for 2021 to be a good year, really
They do.
hit those fitness goals, right? So one advice that I have for anyone who's just starting is seek some guidance. Hire a trainer, do your research, because most people will stop because they don't know what to do, or they don't know how to continue improving after they hit a plateau.
Or they get hurt.
Exactly. And then they come visit you, right?
I was going to say, you're going to have a huge uptick January 1st. I get a huge uptick February 1st after everyone who hasn't been active for the last 20 years goes and tries to do some exercise on their own.
Right. And typically what you see is January 2nd, they hit it hard, and they hit it hard for a month. They burn out, they get hurt, and then they don't want to do it ever again. So that's why I say hire a trainer, get some guidance, because we will make sure that you are doing the exercises correctly so they can avoid seeing you unless they have a serious injury, right? But yeah, we're really excited for the new year and to get 2021 going the right way.
Me too. Everyone has all their hopes that 2021 is going to be different. Like, no, it's not. But but it's okay. We can pretend that it's going to be. It's going to be a while before we're 100% back to normal, I think. You said burnout. Do you think that people, when they get into it, either for the first time or back into it, that they go too hard?
Absolutely. So what I've noticed through my years of experience is that, we all create that motivation. And we get really excited about it. We all mentally, we're like, yeah, we're going to do it. This is, I'm for real this time. Yeah. So they go all out. They work out 5-6 times a week. They're eating completely different food, something that they're not used to. And then it just becomes a hassle. They start to dislike it. It's too much work. They get burnt out. They're tired. They start missing 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Those 3 days become a month. And then before you know it, they're back to square one.
I remember when you were yelling at me for doing double a day or 2 a days. I remember that. Yeah. Perfect example, right? And then I took some time off because my hamstrings, I killed them.
Yeah,
that's right. Now I didn't warn you that this one was coming, but I thought about it because you mentioned nutrition in terms of having to change things. Everyone thinks I'm going to become super healthy and with my eating and starting working out at the same time, and how adding too much can kind of be a disaster. Two-parter. First one is, tell us a little bit about what Tina has kind of coming on, hopefully in the next year, number one, that can really help people out. And then secondly, what comes first? Nutrition, exercise? Like, where would you put the priority?
Okay, awesome. So one thing that Christina and I have coming up is she is starting her own meal prep service business. Yep. So she will be providing meals, pre-made meals for people who are interested, really healthy and delicious meals. And I don't just say that because she'll probably listen to this.
Yeah.
Being honest, they really are good. So she's currently in culinary school. She's been learning a lot of new stuff, and she's super excited to roll that out. So that's one service that we will have here at PowerHouse Fitness, where people can come in, order food, or just grab some meals on the go.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's good. It's going to be awesome. With the other question, honestly, I think nutrition is more important than exercise. And the reason I say that is because you only exercise typically 1 hour a day. And usually that's only 3 to 5 times a week. So you compare that to just 1 day where you have 24 hours and you're supposed to be eating around 3 to 5 times a day. Like they say, you can't outwork a bad diet, and I completely agree. The food that you eat is the fuel that you have. So if you have bad fuel in you, you're not going to perform the way you want to perform in the gym, and that 1 hour of training is not going to do you justice. So I definitely say we here at PowerHouse, we will provide nutritional guidance. We won't provide like any meal plans. We'll just make sure that you create good, healthy habits that you can carry for the rest of your life.
Now, can Tina do that when she has her culinary degree?
I believe that in the state of North Carolina, you can't give.
She can't exactly give advice, but she can at least design meals that are healthy.
Absolutely. Okay. And so the way that we're going to do it is we'll have like the macros and how much carbs, protein, fats are on the meals to make sure that they fit with
Okay.
your goals, and it's what you need to be eating.
And that's how you usually start with people with that. When they're on the onboarding, you're kind of going over the macros with them.
Yeah, we help them understand how food works, how it's fueled, and the difference between a carbohydrate, a protein, and a fat. Kind of that whole nutritional guidance, the knowledge that they need to have, the basics to understand. Like, okay, this muffin has maybe less calories than this apple, but at the end of the day, we all know an apple is a lot healthier of a choice.
In the end, I think we do. Yeah.
Right. So
what's the first piece of advice that you would give someone? You can't give official advice, I understand, but if someone was going to want to eat healthier, what's the first thing, or what's one very simple thing that they could do?
Create a habit. So
Ooh, I like it. Nice.
Yeah, figure out what is one of the biggest obstacles you have with your nutrition, whether it's you're skipping breakfast, you're not drinking enough water, you're not eating any vegetables at all. Figure that out.
Check for me, man. Come on, make me feel bad.
So once you figure that out, create a habit, challenge yourself. And that's what I do with my clients, my personal training clients. And that's what I plan on doing with our members here at PowerHouse Fitness. So let's say, you come to me and you say, hey, one of my biggest obstacles when it comes to nutrition is that I'm skipping breakfast every morning. Well, cool. I'm going to challenge you to eat breakfast every day for the next 5 days. Let's try that. You report at the end of the 5 days. Awesome. I ate breakfast every day for the past 5 days. Cool. Now
How'd you feel? That how did you feel? How did that make you feel different? Yeah. They're probably going to be like, I had more energy. I resisted the donut at 10 a.m. or something like that.
Or if they skip lunch and they're like, oh, I wasn't starving at 5 p.m. and decided to eat a whole pizza, right?
Right.
So yeah, developing good habits would be one of my best advice.
That's actually worked well for me because I'm someone who loves to have a bad lunch. But if ever I have a snack mid-morning, that craving isn't there at lunchtime. Like around 11:30, and I'm not going like, what kind of bad food can I have right now?
Right.
That always helps. Thank you, Ramon. This has been so much fun. What I love about what you do and your history and your strengths is that you actually help people not get hurt, right? So don't take it as like, oh, he's a chiropractor, he wants people to get hurt or seriously injured. No, I would much rather you go see someone like Ramon, do it correctly, and not hurt yourself. All right. So Ramon, where can people learn more about you? Where can people reach you?
So right now we are in the process of developing our website for PowerHouse Fitness, but they can find me on Instagram and Facebook. Feel free to send me a message. I say I'm a pretty friendly guy, so I'll definitely respond. And
there you go.
If you need to talk more, we can always Zoom or do a face-to-face meeting, whichever one you feel comfortable with.
That's cool. So you do Zoom with clients or potential clients?
Absolutely.
Okay. That's actually a great idea. Well done on that one. Well
Thank you.
done. All right. Thank you very much, Ramon. Anything else you want to add?
No, thank you for having me.
Awesome.
It's
awesome.
fun.
Appreciate it, Ramon. Thank you much. Bye.
Bye.